Hi everyone, I'm Emily Gillespie. Sorry for the delay if you just caught the earlier version that I tried to go live. I'm having some technology issues, but I think I've got it resolved now, so thanks for bearing with me. Welcome to my weekly art chat show on here on Instagram. If you're new here, let me introduce myself. I'm an artist based in Central Florida, where I live with my husband, our teenage son, and our dachshund Jack. Let me just zoom in a little there so you don't see all my mess. When I was in elementary school, my art teacher told me that I wasn't any good at art, and I believed her. So I spent many years avoiding any kind of activities that I thought were artistic. It took me until I was grown and married with a young child at home to reconnect with my creative side and to realize that artistic ability is not measured by how well you can draw something. I realized how much joy making brings to my life, and I've never looked back. That was in 2012. After over a decade of making art as a hobby and developing my own skills, I recognize how important it is to provide encouragement to others, to cheer them on, and to help them reconnect with the things that bring them creative joy. These art chats are a way for me to discuss subjects like self-care for creatives, the evolution of an artist's voice, and learning to be vulnerable in sharing your work and your gifts. I'm so glad you're joining me here today. I wanted to remind you that my 2023 ornament collection is available on my website. I can't believe that we're already talking about Christmas ornaments. It still seems like it's way too soon for that, but we're almost in mid-November and the holidays are right around the corner. I want to make sure that you have time to shop for yourself and others, and then to allow for shipping to make sure it gets to your door on time for you to hang it on your tree. Here's a couple of the ornaments. Each one is an abstract inspired landscape. They're between 3 and 3.5 inches each, and they come with a velvet ribbon for hanging, and they'll be sealed for protection so you can enjoy them for many, many years on your tree. You can go visit my website at emilygillespie.com/shop to purchase. And if you see my Instagram handle here, it's the same exact spelling. Today, we're going to talk about creative leadership. And by this, I don't necessarily mean creative ways to approach leadership in a management or corporate setting. What I'm talking about is how you can be a leader in the creative fields. A lot of the information out there relates to the corporate settings, but there's so much more to leadership than that. Leadership is vital to us in every aspect of our lives. It provides structure to our society, and it is how we work together and guide each other toward common goals to better the world that we live in. Now, I don't have a formal art background or education. I'm entirely self-taught. I've never taken an art lesson. I don't have much of a local creative community, and I've never had a mentor. For most of my creative life, I've kind of just gone along on my own and tried to figure things out for myself, hoping that it would work out. I guess I've done okay so far, but there are definitely times when I feel like it would be helpful to have some kind of network or a guide. Maybe that's why I feel so strongly about supporting others and helping to guide them as they navigate their creative paths. I don't know if I've talked about that much on here besides the quick overview in my art chat introduction. The longer version is that after my art teacher discouraged me from pursuing art, I really did intend to avoid anything that I thought was artistic. And at that time, I didn't identify artistic skill as anything other than drawing and painting. So outside of the assignments I still had to do within the art class, I didn't do anything artistic. I didn't draw or paint. But what I didn't realize was that I was still doing lots of creative activities. I played multiple musical instruments. I wrote short stories and poetry. I learned photography, did scrapbooking, and planned bridal and baby showers. I was interested in interior design, dabbled in ceramics, and tried gardening. I loved crafts and DIY projects. And even with all that, I still thought that I wasn't creative. I resisted any invitation to participate in artistic activities, and I took every opportunity to belittle myself and my abilities when I absolutely had to draw in public. I made sure that everyone knew I was aware just how bad I really was. When I finally connected with a woman who was a leader in the online art community, I was in my late 20s. It was truly an aha moment when I realized that creativity is so much more than just being able to draw. I started to explore and learn about different creative disciplines, and I haven't stopped since. Making art and exploring my creativity has brought me so much joy over the years. It's taken a long time and a lot of work to change my thought patterns and my inner beliefs, and I grieve the years that were lost and wasted when I thought that that wasn't something I was capable of. I wish that there had been someone around to help me reconnect with it sooner. So that's a huge part of what motivates me. If I can help other women get back in touch with their dreams and the things that brought them, that once brought them joy, or if I can help them discover something new, maybe they won't have to go through the same wasted time that I did. And as I was writing these notes for today's art chat, I realized maybe there's some kind of redemption seeking in that, but that's a topic for another day. So back to the subject. There are two types of creative leadership that I want to talk about today. The first is working to be a leader for yourself. The second is being a leader for others. There are a lot of ways leadership qualities can manifest in your own personal creative journey. This includes problem solving, courage, having a positive attitude, integrity, discipline, focus, self-awareness, learning and self-improvement, knowing yourself and staying true to your principles and values, and your style and your own voice, and innovation. So first of all, you have to learn these skills for yourself before you can apply them to helping others. Sometimes this entails doing the quiet things that other people don't see. There's often a lot of work behind the scenes in personal growth and in any kind of skill development. You have to learn to be confident and motivate yourself. And there's a lot of times when you're going to have to fake it until you make it. Even if you don't feel like you're capable, showing confidence in yourself, in your work, in your abilities, can go a long way to other people's perception of you. And you have to set yourself up to succeed by having dedication to do the hard things. So the big takeaways here are, first of all, don't wait for others to give you approval and affirmation. Second, focus in on the things you're good at and refine them. Then you can go back and start working on the things you're weaker at to develop them, and maybe they'll even become a strength. Alyssa says, great list of self-leadership. Claiming personal authority is a theme of a lot of those. Yes, that's true. Thank you. In addition to leading yourself, it's also important to serve as an example for others. As I said earlier, I've had to figure things out as I go along. And when I'm thinking about how I can support others, I found it really useful to look back at my own growth. So some things I think about when I try to identify ways to be a better support for fellow creatives. What kind of guidance would have helped me at earlier stages in my development? How can I celebrate other people's accomplishments? What can I do to help build community? Part of being a good leader is being a mentor, and you can be a mentor to someone, to anyone, no matter what stage of your creative path you are on. Some people may have years or decades more experience than you, but that doesn't prohibit you from helping and supporting them. People in all stages of their creative journey need an advocate or a cheerleader or a friend, whatever kind of support role that they need. You don't necessarily need a lot of artistic or creative skill or experience. And even if you don't have a mentor, that doesn't mean you can't be a mentor to somebody else. So this can look like encouraging others and lifting them up, listening, showing respect, having a positive attitude, teaching and sharing, helping others identify their own strengths and weaknesses and to develop the weaknesses, having a positive attitude, self-awareness, innovation, integrity, problem solving, and more. You'll notice that there are several items repeated between the two areas, and that's because there is a lot of overlap. It's not so much a case of, one comes before the other, but they work in tandem. I went on social media this morning and I asked people what their thoughts on this topic were, and what qualities they thought were most important in creative leadership. Over on Threads, the new antiquity, thought, resilience, and adaptability were at the top of the list. Scarpaces says, I personally think that being a leader in creative fields boils down to thinking creatively, inspiring others, and making a space where ideas can flourish. It's also about discovering and embracing your own versions of innovation that can track and represent your own creative progress. And when possible, your own work should naturally motivate everyone to think about how they need to dive into their own creative ways to inspire their own successes further. Over on Instagram, Rachel MGM said, the ability to openly communicate and receive feedback. Acceptance of other creative perspectives that vary from their own. Not necessarily better, just different. Leaders inspire people to pursue their goals and chase their dreams. Leaders build unity and bring us together to achieve greater things. Leaders shape communities, help us resolve conflicts, and offer guidance. Whether you're working for yourself or with others, you can have a big impact upon the world around you. If there's something else you'd like to hear me talk about in a future art chat, leave a comment or send me a DM here on Instagram to make sure that you are one of the first to know about upcoming art collections and studio news. You can join my mailing list. Go to emilyjaleski.com to sign up. Subscribers will get monthly inspiration, behind the scenes info, and access to early shopping when new collections are released. Thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you soon.